HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
In today's episode of the Having It All podcast, I'm giving you 2 beliefs to try on for when the ish hits the fan. Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. A few days ago, I was presented with an opportunity to practice faith. And by faith, I mean trust and surrender. My basement flooded. There was some heavy rain here in Atlanta a couple days ago, and it just accumulated in my basement. And there's a pump that's supposed to remove the water, and that malfunctioned, and therefore the basement flooded. We got about 4 or 5 inches of water throughout the entire basement. And the basement is where we store all of our stuff. So it's got all sorts of things from beds to future baby equipment to music and movies and shoes. And, I'm a big sneaker guy, so I store all my sneakers down there. All that stuff got wet. And the kicker was that we have a water heater down there, and it knocked out the water heater. So that meant no hot water in our house. And right now it is winter. It's January in Atlanta, and temperatures today are going to get to around mid-30s. So it's cold as hell. And this circumstance was not very fun to begin with. And so in today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about circumstances and a couple of beliefs that I've adopted to help me deal with challenging circumstances that come my way. So this whole basement thing has happened before. It happened a couple years ago. And that my experience back then was that it was a huge pain in the ass to get it fixed. We rent our home from a company, and so we end up calling the company, and they call the contractors, and the contractor calls me, and then I set up appointments, and they come out, and they call a separate contractor to do this, and a third contractor to do that. All this stuff just to fix a little issue. So when I noticed the basement was underwater a few days ago, I wasn't too thrilled about it because of the prospect of having to go through this long, drawn-out, pain-in-the-ass process to get things fixed. On top of the fact that now I have a bunch of stuff that's soaking wet and damaged, and I have to release a lot of things. And on top of that, no hot water. So the universe hit me with a triple-decker in terms of challenging circumstances to work through. And I feel very grateful, actually. Grateful that over the past couple of years, I have been around certain people and been in environments and a part of communities where we talk about how to deal with challenging circumstances. And we talk about staying in our power, which just means staying, in your just being cool and level-headed when stuff happens, because stuff in life is always going to happen. And there are 2 beliefs that I've adopted recently that really help me to move through these challenging circumstances whenever they come up. The first belief is that the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, him, her, whatever, will never present you with something that you cannot handle. And that's a huge belief. That was a huge thing for me to wear on, because in my past, I used to think that I couldn't handle a lot of things. I would get overwhelmed at the idea of certain things. And in some cases, I would just completely ignore things that were presented in front of me, such as finances. I could get easily overwhelmed with my finances, so I would just simply ignore them. But now I have this belief, and the belief that I will never be presented with something that I can't handle, which means that I am equipped right now, just as I am equipped to handle everything that comes my way. And so are you. I truly believe that. And so what adopting this belief does is that even when shit hits the fan and you think that the world is ending and you don't know what to do and you don't know where to turn, if you believe this belief, if you have adopted this belief, then you know that whatever it is, no matter how big that mountain is, you can make it. HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And what I think is really cool is when I was first presented with this belief, I did some thinking on it, and it took a while of me repping it and really experiencing it for myself to believe it. But what I found, I thought is really fascinating, is that if you don't believe me, if you don't feel like the universe will present things that you can't handle, if you think that you are being faced with things, or in your past you've faced things that you just absolutely couldn't handle, then I want you to think about this, because if you're hearing my voice right now, if you're listening to this podcast, it means that you have survived every single hardship that has come your way. If you're here on this earth right now, breathing, listening to this, you've made it past every single mountain, every single holy shit moment, every single thing that brought you to your knees, that made you feel so overwhelmed you couldn't breathe. You've made it through them. You've made it through all of them to be here right now. And that's huge, because it absolutely confirms that you will never be presented with something that you can't handle. And every time that you face a new mountain, every time that you face a new fear, a new demon, and you make it through it, you get stronger. You get another notch on your belt. You have more experience now to take into the next circumstance. That's the first belief that really shifted a lot of things for me. The second belief is one that you've absolutely heard before, and some of you have probably hate hearing this when it comes up, but it's the belief that you are always able to choose how you respond to situations, how you respond to circumstances. So you may not be able to control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond to it. And, you know, a lot of people hate hearing that. They do. And it's because you want to believe that shit happens to you for a reason, that shit only happens to you, that things continue to happen to you, and that gives you an excuse to act and behave a certain way. It gives you an excuse to be down about yourself. It gives you an excuse to not try hard, to not reach out, to not push yourself, to not step out of your comfort zone, because things always happen to you. But what I'm saying is that when you choose to adopt the belief that you can always have choice in how you respond to circumstances, everything opens up. Because you start to realize and you start to understand, you start to feel that how you feel is not dependent on what happens to you. How you feel is a state of mind. How you feel is up to you. And when you pair that with that first belief that you will never be presented with something you cannot handle, there is no circumstance, none, that will permanently knock you off your feet. Now, you're going to have stuff that's going to knock you down. You're going to have stuff that's going to, bust you up a little bit and make you wonder, like, wow, can I actually do this? And make you want to cry and cower in fear and turn around. You will absolutely have that stuff. Absolutely. We all do. But with these two beliefs, you will know that you can handle it. And you will know that you do not have to suffer through it. It doesn't have to be the most terrible thing that happens to you. And if it does, there still can be some learning from it. There still can be some lessons from it. There can still be silver linings, even if things do suck, because things do suck sometimes. This isn't like this happened to a family member recently. Their dog was killed. The dog was killed when it ran outside in the street. So I'm not saying that if your dog runs outside and it gets struck by a car and it gets killed, you have to smile. I'm not saying that you need to sit there and choose to smile about it, choose to feel happy about it. No. Feel the way you're going to feel. But just know that the universe isn't picking on you. And just know that when you're ready to pick yourself up, when you're ready to move on, you can choose to do so. You're always able to choose how you will respond to situations. And so going back to this whole basement thing, I absolutely believe that the way that I chose to relate to the basement flood and respond to the basement flood impacted everything that happened next. Because this is a Thursday that I'm speaking to you all, and it was Monday when we experienced the flood. And right now, you might be able to hear in the background, there's like a low hum going on. And that's because there's a bunch of fans down there, and the water's been sucked up, and the fans are blowing to dry it out, and there's dehumidifiers. And I'm actually recording from home right now, but I have a hotel room for 2 nights that I can go to. And all these things started happening because of how I chose to relate to the situation. The people in charge of the rental property that we live in, they got into action. They started making phone calls, started calling contractors. People started arriving at my house and helped to work on the problem. And because I didn't choose to be salty about it, because I didn't choose to blame people and say, well, if you had done this, this, and this, then this wouldn't have happened. People really extended themselves to make my family, Sarah, Maya, and I feel comfortable through this crappy circumstance. We had a technician show up at about 7 p.m. last night, and it's winter, so 7 p.m. it's dark, it's pitch black out, and it's cold as hell, so cold. And he was down there sucking up all the water, moving all the things around in the basement, fixing the problem for us after hours. He didn't need to be there. He and his team, he got pulled, or he pulled himself and another guy off some other jobs to come and help us out. He was there for 3.5 hours working down there, getting things together. And the apartment rental company, they went above and beyond, and they secured us a hotel for 2 nights so that we could have hot showers. They didn't have to do that. They could have been like, we're going to do our best to get the hot water heater fixed for you guys, and it might take a couple of days, so just hunker down and we'll call you tomorrow. They didn't do that. They went above and beyond and got stuff done. And I choose not to believe that that was a coincidence. I choose not to believe that these people who don't know each other, don't work together, work for separate companies, they both went above and beyond to make sure that we were comfortable. I choose to believe that's a result of how I showed up through the circumstance. And that's what happens. You show up powerfully, stuff's going to happen in your favor. At least that's what I choose to believe. So this episode really comes down to understanding that shit is going to happen in life. It always does. You will always be faced with circumstances. As soon as one ends, a new one's going to pop up. I'm quite certain that something else is going to be presented to me, for Sarah and I to handle and experience now that the basement thing is taken care of. That's just life. That's just life. But what is beautiful about it as well is that I know that we can handle anything that we're presented with. And I know that you can too. No matter what it is, if it's financial, if it's relationship, if it's career, whatever it is, health, you can handle anything that comes your way. Because you've already handled everything that has come your way. And it doesn't have to suck as bad. It can still suck, but it doesn't have to suck as bad. So those are the 2 beliefs that I'm sharing with you. They were shared with me in the past, and now I'm passing them on to you. And try them on. Beliefs are like shirts. You can just try one on, see how it fits, wear it for a little while. If it works, cool, keep it. If not, toss it, get rid of it. Can't hurt to try it on.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
So with that, let's get into the move portion of today's episode. I want you all to do something which seems a little counter to how we normally respond and react to challenging situations. I want you guys to express gratitude for the circumstances that come your way. Yes, I want you to thank the shit that happens in your life that you just hate. Because these circumstances, no matter how much they suck, how much you dislike them, how bad they hurt, how much they make you scream, they are giving you an opportunity to grow. And that's exciting. It really is exciting because everything that comes your way is a chance for you to level up. It's a chance for you to become a greater version of yourself, to become more of a badass, to get more in your beast mode with every single circumstance that comes your way. So whenever you're hit with something, car problems, bank overdraft fees, crappy diagnosis at the doctor, child acting up, whatever it is always an opportunity for you to grow, for you to come out of that circumstance, come out on the other side, being a greater, more patient, more humble, more centered, more loving version of yourself. So for the move today, I want you guys to thank some of the recent most challenging circumstances that came your way. Pick two. And thank it however feels comfortable to you. If you're a journaler, then tonight's journal entry, thank two challenging circumstances for what they were, what they presented to you, and the opportunity that it gave you. If you're like me and journaling is just not your thing, then try this out. Speak out loud. Speak your thanks out loud. Great place to do it is when you're in your car. Most of us take daily trips solo, where we're just chilling, us with our own thoughts in the car. That's a perfect time for you to think about some challenging circumstances that you might be experiencing right now. You probably have some sort of circumstance that the universe has presented in front of you for you to work on your relationship with right now. And I guarantee you, if you start to thank it, if you start to view it as an opportunity, your relationship towards it is going to shift. And as your relationship, as the way you feel about it shifts, the magnitude of it starts to decrease a little bit. It doesn't feel as daunting. It doesn't feel like it's going to kill you. It doesn't feel like there's never going to be an end point. It feels a little bit more manageable. So for today's move, pick two circumstances that have just been pushing you to your limit and express gratitude for them. Say thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for stepping into my life, because you're giving me a chance to become a better version of me. And that's what I'm wanting. That's what I'm playing for every day, is to go to sleep having learned something new, having pushed myself, having stepped out of my comfort zone, and to wake up a slightly better version of myself. So that's the move for today, folks. I would love for you to reach out to me, shoot me an email, let me know what circumstances are challenging you right now, and I will happily hold you accountable to moving through them and with them. Shoot me an email at mattcbivens@gmail.com. Excuse me, that was mattcbivens@gmail.com. That's my personal email address. I love receiving emails from you all. I've been getting a lot more recently. It's really cool. I respond and just love kicking off conversations with people, and bringing it from this sort of podcast world where I'm just speaking to you into a world of conversation and relationship, the real world, where we can actually start conversing with one another. It's special. It really is. So shoot me an email again. That's mattcbivens@gmail.com. Or you can hop over to my new website, matthewbivens.com, and you can fill out the contact form, which a couple of you all did this past week. That was awesome. Glad to see that it's working. So the website again is matthewcbivens@gmail.com. Today's gratitude goes to the iTunes reviewers, all of you out there who have left a review for this podcast on iTunes. I want to say thank you so much. It really helps, honestly, to get this show in front of new ears and new eyes. And so if you listening right now feel inspired to leave a review, iTunes is definitely the place to do it. Just hop on over there, search for the Having It All podcast, and leave a review. I would appreciate it. I also want to send some gratitude to Panther and Maxwell for the music that was used in today's episode. I have links to both songs in the show notes, which you can find over at firesidenetwork.com. And finally, I want to say thank you to you for listening. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming back every week and just spending a little bit of time with me. It's amazing. So thank you. I will catch you guys next week. My name is Matthew Bivens, and here's to you having it all.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.